that. Is you really about your body or not? Can you really take dick or not? Can I bring another picture now? Is you with the shit or not? Yeah, I'm paranoid, I'm tripping. I've been smoking and sipping. Big kush, long money, bad chicks, real niggas here with me. Pouring up 100 bottles in the club like blase.
Hi.
What's good?
Welcome in Paris.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us.
That's not your first time in Paris.
Nah, I've been here before. It was lit.
What were you doing?
I had a show, and it was fucking crazy as hell. It was so crazy that like the crowd all started jumping and the power went out in the whole building. They had to fix it.
Last video I saw you was with Diddy.
Yeah.
Just let me love you, girl, don't stop me.
Everybody's talking about Diddy like a businessman or a producer.
One of the greatest ever.
But the one thing I want to know is how is it to be in studio with Diddy? How is it working?
I definitely got produced. It's on camera. Y'all can see it. Like, I usually record my own self in the control room with the mic right there. I don't like going to the vocal booth. But that time I went to the vocal booth. I'm like, let me see what this is about. And like Diddy definitely brought something more than what I usually would do.
One more time. Just let me love you, girl, don't stop me.
It was a nice lesson for sure, and we're definitely gonna work more. I'm gonna do some new music for his new album that's about to drop, and he's definitely gonna be on my next album for sure. One of the greatest ever to do it. The numbers speak for themselves, the hits speak for themselves, and I mean, he's still here. A lot of people from his time aren't here anymore, you know what I mean?
Does he still have the magic touch?
Puff? Oh, hell yeah. For sure.
So what's the secret? I was always wondering, how is it that everybody can sample and do a beat, but when Diddy produces?
It's a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just knowing, man. You just gotta know. You just gotta have it. Everybody don't got it, you know? Like, everything matters, from the words, to the melody, to the beat, to the artist. You know what I mean? Like, everybody doesn't belong on a particular beat. Like, maybe I would have took your beat and done it better, or maybe I write a song and like, everybody always is like, yo, like, don't you feel fucking stupid for giving away Loyal to Chris Brown?
These hoes ain't loyal, no they ain't.
I'm like, no, that was perfect for him at the time of what was going on, everything. If I would have put that out right after Paranoid, it might not have got the same.
My bitch drive Range Rovers.
So you can't ever be afraid. Like, it's just music at the end of the day. Let's have fun with this shit.
And on your album, there is the greatest of the R&B, Babyface.
Everywhere I go, you know I'm solid. A1 with these girls, you know I'm solid.
Sure, man. Babyface, R. Kelly.
Like the best producer and to me the best melodist. R. Kelly is the best melodist.
It's the remix to Ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen. Mama rolling that body, got every man in here wishing.
Yeah, man, for sure. Both of them, it was an honor to be able to get them to be a part.
And Babyface told you, do not smoke weed.
Yeah. He didn't tell me, his boy told me, but like, anything Face says, let's go. That's Babyface, the God. He even pulled up to my video shoot in a fucking stretch limousine with his family. So that was tight too. I haven't seen a stretch limousine my whole career.
Would you like to get old like Babyface?
Yeah, for sure. And I will still produce and still make smashes, just like him, forever.
Tell me, how is it to work with R. Kelly?
R. Kelly, man, incredible. I'm also on his album.
And I just invited all my friends.
Yeah, man, I just put it to you like this, man, it's magic, man. We're all musicians, but we're also magicians. You know what I mean? And we get in there, we make magic, and voila, you heard it first.
Voilà, c'est fini. Right now, who are the producers you would like to work with?
Primo.
And now for my next number, I'd like to return to the classic.
Heat Rock. J Dilla, rest in peace.
Put on weight from fighting the mall. In the mall, you see it and like it is yours.
I want to work with Tyler, the Creator.
I'm a fucking walking paradox. No, I'm not.
threesomes with a fucking triceratops.
And Timbaland the king.
You're no longer involved. That person has it all, and you just stuck standing there.
And me and Tim are already working.
You really?
You heard it first.
Is he doing music like in when we see him with Jay-Z?
Just know Tim always like has a new sound, and he definitely has a new sound. That's it.
I remember an interview with him like in the early, at the end of the 90s, he was saying, I got 8 styles of sound for the next decade.
Yeah.
And after, I'm gonna find 5 more. So he has a new
He's not
style.
lying. He has a new one. It's sick. I've heard like 3 of the new ones. 3 of the new sounds. And there's more, I'm sure.
When I read like the first news about the album and I see like all the featurings, I was like, okay, one more album with a lot of features, but it's a masterpiece, really. It's
Thank you. Like,
orchestrated.
they were not supposed to put the features on iTunes. I wasn't trying to be thirsty and be like, yo, I got a feature from Wiz.
I'm iron, I'm iron, I'm iron, I'm iron, I'm iron, I'm iron.
I got a feature from YG, I got a feature from Ye, I got a feature from Puff.
Tactor, the best way that you know, the best way that you know, the best way that you know.
I didn't even want it to say any features. I just wanted you to hear the song and be like, oh shit, is that him? Oh shit, that's tight. I want to use everybody like instruments, you know? Because they don't put that I'm featuring this guy on bass or this guy on strings, so why would you put the artist? But, you know, it had to happen how it happened or whatever. Everything's meant to be how it's supposed to be, so it's all good. The next one though, I'm gonna get more artsy.
When you listen to the Chronic, you don't know who's there.
It's like this and like that and like this and it's like that and like this and like that and
But you know that they were all in Solar System Sounds studios.
And that's
doing
what I
music.
was trying to do, man. And you
So
know
the
what's funny
Chronic is
about,
an inspiration for you?
Yeah, for sure. And Solar is also who Lakeside was signed to.
Yeah.
So it's all in the same building. So Pops was there for that. Then you have the Death Row there with Dr. Dre. Then you have Atlantic now, where I'm in the same building making songs. So that's like a historic building right there on Cahuenga in Hollywood.
But when you go into that building and you know that the greatest funk album has been done and that the greatest rap album, which is for me the Chronic, has been done, how do you feel?
I feel great, man, and I feel honored to be able to record inside of the same building. The only fucked up part is they don't allow me to smoke weed in that building. So therefore, I'd rather just go anywhere else.
They don't allow to smoke weed where they did the Chronic?
No. They said that Wiz and Kane Beats smoked in there and set off the fire alarm, and then the fire people come or whatever, and every time they come, it's like a $10,000 fine. So now they said on the 3rd one, they're just gonna kick them out of the building. So they said we can't smoke in there no more.
Right now you're smoking weed, it's illegal on TV.
Oh shit.
How did you discover that?
Weed was at a very young age. I remember the smell, but I always thought it was a cigarette, right? But it was just a cigarette that didn't stink as bad as the other ones. There used to be roaches laying around the house, and I think it was my dad, or it could have been my mom, but both of them say it wasn't them. I know they're both lying, you know. I didn't smoke until I was like 16, 17 though. And just out of respect for my mom. And once I started smoking, I fell in love.
I got some OG kush from San Fernando Valley.
You know, the best weeds. I don't like every weed. I only like OG Kush. Right now, I'm really only smoking Louis the 13.
Because my friends who are smoking weed, they're doing nothing of their life,
Yeah.
and they don't work. And you're able to do like
It's not for everybody.
1,000 sounds.
It's not for everybody. And don't you think I'm just doing songs. We're doing songs, we're creating merch, we're doing interviews, we're traveling, we're doing in-stores. Like, there's not a point in my life where I'm not working now. And I bought a new house, and I've probably been there like 14 times. Bought a new Porsche, probably rode in it 14 times, you know what I mean? And this is last year. So that just shows you, like, it's work. And, like, it's not for everybody to smoke weed, even though it's, like, legal in some spots. I think we should definitely let people know that this has got to be for people that, like me, my brain is just running so fast, and, like, there's just so much shit going on. This keeps me calm and not stressing. You know what I mean?
The particularity of doing which is to me a classic album, is when you have an anthem, and you have an anthem for Los Angeles.
Yeah, man, definitely. I got the LA song with me and Kendrick, featuring James Fauntleroy. Brandy's also on there. Fucking the incredible Brandy. I always wanted to have a
Is
song
that
with
her with the?
That's her. Yeah.
No.
So, see, I hope they put her name on there in the features or whatever. But there's a lot of little, you know, voices I used and different people. My homegirl Tiffany Goucher, who's also killer. My homegirl Tish Hyman, who's also killer. I got a lot of people on there. I was just like really trying to come with some new sounds, you know?
Hollow tips get thrown, I'm off that Centennial. Fucking at the party, nigga, at the party, we fade Dynamo.
And I'm glad you appreciate it as
I
a
love this song.
masterpiece.
Every time I'm going to LA, I'm listening to this.
Thank you, brother.
Can't believe we fell in love with a city of angels.
Hell yeah, man. Paris too, man. That shit. Paris is beautiful. I love Paris.
What could you do about Paris? What does it inspire you?
Shit, everything, man. All these like dope buildings, the fashion, the people, everything. I have my studio actually on my bus, and my computer's been fucked up for the last few days, so we just went by the Apple store, dropped it off. They're gonna change a piece on there, and then I'll get it back, and I'll probably make a song tonight in Paris. I've been making hella songs since I've been on tour, and the last tour in the States with Future. All of my tours, like, not LA, but Only Right, the song Only Right with me, TC, Joe Moses, YG.
All my niggas rich, man, it's only right. Get it how you live, man, it's only right. Broke bread with my bitch, man, it's only right.
This 8-minute songs about your brother, which is really, really crazy.
It's a miracle. How they stayed hating on us, guess they didn't know.
Can you tell me about this song?
Talking about Miracle?
Yeah.
Yeah, Miracle goes into Wherever. And Miracle is actually my favorite song on the album.
Me too.
It's my brother just singing his heart out and his cellmate, D-Lo. And I come on the end and do some more vocals, and my sister's on there as well. My pops is also playing horns. And we just made it into a family thing because like the song was so beautiful. It's a miracle, even though he's in the penitentiary, we're able to do music and just stick together and still have hope and, you know, still pray for change. And he's in prison for something that he didn't do, which like I'm sure there's people here in Paris that are going through the same thing. So we just gotta raise awareness around the world and, you know, free people that don't deserve to be there.
And in this song, we can hear him.
Yeah.
How did you felt when you was recording this, when you just put
I ain't
your
gonna lie, man. I'm a
finger on
grown-ass
the...
man, but sometimes I tear up when I hear that fucking song, man.
Life is a miracle, no blessing. Every trial and test is a lesson. Gotta speak the truth and stop guessing. Ain't got no room for doubts to ask questions.
It just makes me feel like, fuck, man. Like, I can't wait till I get my brother. He's supposed to be here with us doing this interview, you know?
Because you never talk about political and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this is a really political act to do an album called Free TC.
Yeah, man. That's just what it is in my life. Like, maybe the songs are all party because we're in the club and, you know, people are dancing to it. But when we all go home, we have real shit to deal with, you know? And this is what's going on in my family. And like, yeah, he's in jail for something that he didn't do. That also affects my family. That also affects his son. That also affects his wife. That also affects his son's mom. That affects my mom. That affects my sister. It's like a whole, it's crazy.
Because growing in the 90s, when you see all this gangster rap and all this folklore, like movies like Menace, Society and stuff like that.
Being a black man in America isn't easy. All I'm saying is survive.
People forget that this is reality.
Yeah.
And this is not fun.
Not fun at all, man. I wouldn't advise nobody to gangbang or to, you know, want to be a fucking idiot or an asshole. But it's just like, we're products of our environment, man. Everybody is born And everybody's not born in a mansion, you know? Some of us are born in apartments and shit, and with the other gang of people that are on one thing, so you become a part of that, you know? But if you can get out and tell the story like I'm doing, that's what it's about.
And when you're talking about your business, it looks like it's a really huge industry.
Yeah.
Like, how did you decide to go from the guy who's just doing music to the guy who have a label, who's creating, doing some merch?
Yeah, it's like the music is one thing, and you can work harder or you can work easier, you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather work easier. And like, if you have like 10 things going on at once, there's so much coming in, you know what I mean? But at the same time, there's all that money coming in, you gotta maintain everybody that's working for you, because that gets crazy too. So it's not for everybody.
When was the first time that you said, I'm going to be good, thanks God, I'm doing the job of my life?
Shit, I knew from right when I could make a beat, I started thanking God, you know what I mean? Like, I knew right then, and then when I could make a song and sing and make songs for other people, I knew then. And I could play all the instruments. I knew from the beginning. I never had a doubt in my mind. There might have been some people around me that didn't agree, some people that were scared. A lot of people are scared. And there's nothing to be afraid of, man. We're all gonna fucking die one day, and we were all born through someone else, you know what I mean? So there's nothing to be scared of. And I'm not scared. And I just kept on going and going and going. And now I'm here in Paris doing this interview for music.
I remember like when I saw you on Instagram, like when you Instagrammed you with Kanye West.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time that Kanye told you we're gonna do songs together?
Hell yeah. It was lit. I couldn't believe it, actually. Cause like just listening to his shit growing up, you know.
I gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day you die, you gon' touch the sky. You gon' touch the sky.
It was an honor to be able to finally work with him. I always knew, like, when I heard his music, he was on the same thing as me. Really going to the record store and buying records and sampling and just, like, you know, being on some real hip-hop shit. And it was an honor to finally be able to work with him.
And do you realize what he's doing with the life of Pablo, how he's breaking the industry? That's
Yeah.
hip-hop, that's really hip-hop.
Yeah, it's sick. Especially for me to be on the song, like, Real Friends, like, with that beat, like.
How many of us, how many of us, how many jealous, real friends?
Shit, you know what I mean? It's like, all from growing up, that's like all I wanted to do. I was listening to Tribe Called Quest.
It ain't nothing nice. It ain't nothing nice.
Rest in peace, 5 for sure.
Rest in peace. Last week, Andre 3000 did an amazing speech about Five Dog and what are the hip-hop values.
They're them because of us. You know what I mean? It's like, and it has to keep going, and all this old shit, young shit, and the old niggas hating on the young niggas, that shit gotta stop. Completely. It's all music.
For sure. That's definitely what we gotta do. We all gotta stick together. And that's all we do. That's how we got on, especially with the West Coast now. We all stuck together and we came back. Before that, it was like everybody was just hating on each other. So now, you know, it's popping.
So,
and like across countries and shit, now it's like you have SoundCloud, you have Apple Music, we're able to choose what we want to hear. So you might get like an artist like me working with Crampton Conan.
I know you think you need me, but you don't.
You know what I mean? Or artists like anybody, like you see how Skepta and Drake are working.
I never go anywhere, they never see me. I'm the type to take it easy, take it easy.
And Wayne, like America to Canada to London, you know what I mean? We can go everywhere and work now, so it's all good.
how do you see the evolution of that music?
What do you mean?
Because I have the feeling that the artists are taking back the control.
Oh yeah, we are, especially with like the way the internet is now and SoundCloud. We can. It's no longer like you make an artist. Now it's like you have to be a dope artist because we're all looking. We all can see. We all have Instagram, so we can see what you do at home for real. You know what I mean? Like we'll know if you got it for real or if you're faking. So that's the good part about it. And now, like, there's room for a person like me.
What's your inspiration right now for that new sound?
My inspiration is like older songs, like just going to pick up vinyl in every city, in every country, And just hearing like older shit, cause like when you really think about it, you have a guitar, you have a violin, you have a bass, you have a piano, you have drums. Those sounds right there are never gonna leave, right? So if you could just find out ways to freak those, then like you're in. You know what I mean? Like all that other shit, that's gonna be a fad. That's gonna be like, oh, remember like how it sounded in the 90s, like with the drum machines and like the synthesizers. We don't want to hear that again. But like with the regular guitars, see, I'm giving y'all too much magic right now. Let me hold on.
I didn't know that, but you in the music since you're a child, like your father was in the leg side, was playing the bass.
Yeah.
So is that your father who played the Fantastic Voyage bass?
No, he didn't play the bass. He played keys and horns. Yeah, so I just, like, he plays bass as well, but like, bass became my favorite instrument. So I play bass on stage tonight.
And you started to play bass with Warren G songs?
Yeah, it was this one song called Indo Smoke.
Indo Smoke, pass me the joint so I could take a toke.
Yeah, whatever I hear, I could play it. Or whatever you hear, I could play it.
So that's called the perfect ear.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Thank God.
And you read the music, or you just can hear and reproduce?
Yeah, I can read music as well, but I don't use it. The only time I'm using reading music is if I call the orchestra to come in and play, and then you have to give everybody their parts, and that's the only time you use that. But it's very rare that we do orchestra shit. I used it on my album, and that was at the end, so I had to brush up on my shit a little bit. But shout out to Benjamin Wright, he led him, and he's like who I go to every time for strings.
Can I make you listen my favorite guitar part of all time? It's an old Algerian song, which is a classic. If you do a song about Paris, you have to shoot out to Clique, because the show is called Clique.
Yeah?
Yeah, what's your definition of a clique?
Clique is your crew, that's your homeboys. That's the ones you ride with, you know, your day ones. Whether we're rich or whether we're poor, we stick together, you know? And that's what a clique is about.